termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And a great Friday afternoon to you. So glad you could be with us. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. The eve of game number 2 of the college football season for your Arizona Wildcats, taking on the Weber State Wildcats. First time ever these two teams have played in football. Again, I like these kind of games. I like these regional games. I think you should play the regional schools around you. Obviously, Arizona and Utah share a border. So Weber State, a border school, FCS school, kind of in the meld of a northern Arizona, which the Wildcats play every couple of years. So if you're going to play these types of games, you might as well play a team that's not too far from you. Who knows? They might bring a few people with them to your stadium, although Weber State is a developmental program, a program in development in terms of FCS teams. They lost by 35 last week. So if the Wildcats beat Hawaii by 34 points, they should probably win this game by 50-plus on Saturday night. If the offense struggles this Saturday night, then I'm going to be real concerned about what we might have in store for us coming up a week from tonight. My God, the next game is a week from tonight against Kansas State, the final non-conference game against a conference opponent, however, in the rematch. It did not go well for the Wildcats when they went down to Manhattan, or the Little Apple, or whatever they want to call it, last year and got their butts kicked. We'll see. Kansas State figures to be one of the top teams again this year, although they have not necessarily looked like that in their first 2 games, losing to conference rival Iowa State and then being somewhat lackluster in their game against an FCS opponent last week. We'll dive into all that. We're going to talk to Carl Archie today. He is the play-by-play man for the Weber State Wildcats. We'll get Carl's opinion on everything. Last week, we had a former Arizona prepster, Tucson prepster, on the field, David Cordero. In fact, David got a couple of carries last week for the Hawaii Rainbows in that game. I don't think he had played much at all in the first game, the game against Stanford. But he did get in there and get a couple of carries last week against the Wildcats. And this week, Will Way is back on the offensive line. He's been dealing with a little bit of an injury out of Push Ridge Christian Academy. And so Will be back in town. I'm sure he'll have a ton of folks at the stadium. We are efforting, hopefully getting a chance to maybe get some of his family on the show tomorrow, live from the U of A Mall, for the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show. We will be on the mall at 2:30 tomorrow, 2:30 to 5:30, Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Myself, Kelvin Efon, Glenn Howell, looking forward to that. Randy Robbins is scheduled to join us, the newest inductee into the Arizona Football Ring of Honor. I have to ask Randy about all those times he broke my heart as a teenager when his Denver Broncos would win AFC championship games. So we'll talk to Randy about that and a whole lot more. He is the athletics director up at Casa Grande High School, and apparently there's a big to-do this weekend. All the ADs are up in Prescott, so we will talk to him tomorrow from Prescott. I hope there's internet and cell phone wattage up in Prescott. I've
You're
I've never been to the White Mountains. Is that
You're
what they
the
call
Northern
them, the
Arizona
White Mountains?
tech expert here, Dragon Ball. How's the Wi-Fi service up there?
Oh, the Wi-Fi service is not that great. The further up the mountain you get,
Yeah.
if you're in the campus
There it is.
area, that's where you're going to want to do it. But so many people are on it at any given time,
Yeah.
your Wi-Fi's still not going to be
My
good.
experience, having driven around the state for the 40 years, whatever, is the canyons. And when you get in between a signal and a big piece of rock, that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
So as long as you're not roaming around and going in between mountains and canyons, you're okay.
I like the way you put that. When you get between the signal and a big piece of rock, I'm thinking to myself, what exactly does he
Well,
mean
think
by
about like
that?
north
But
of Sedona, like that whole
All those-
area
yes.
where you're just
All
going to be
those
going
big
there's
rock mountains.
walls of rock on either side. You're not going to get a good signal in there.
I can't imagine that it's the case, but I would love to just take a magnet stick and just realize that, oh, yeah, no, there's just magnets in all of these canyon walls, and that's what's screwing up because it happens
Yeah.
so consistently.
Without a doubt.
High school football tonight. It is week number 3. A lot of good matchups. In fact, right here in our neighborhood, the CNWT. It's the Battle of Prince Road. Flowing Wells, Amphi will be on the gridiron tonight over at Amphi High School. This will be, I believe, I had it written down. I don't know why I did that. This will be the 33rd meeting, 33rd all-time meeting. This is a pretty even series between these two teams. Amphi has won 17 times. Flowing Wells has won 14 times, and there has been one tie. Now, I'm not from these parts, but I was just looking at the layout of this series over the course of its tenure. These two teams, they first played way back in the 50s. The 60s. 1961 was the first time they played. In fact, the first game, the tie, was actually the first game in the series. And then Amphi pretty much controlled it. They won the first 6 meetings in this series, but they didn't play. These two teams, I don't know if maybe there was some bad blood. If you were around in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, I'd love to hear from you on the Battle of Prince Road between Flowing Wells and Amphi, 520-848-1290. Why did they not play? They did not play between 1967 and 1990.
I mean, Amphi was pretty dominant in the 80s, were they not? 80s
Well,
and 90s?
yeah, I mean, Vern Friedley,
Yeah.
I keep telling people, I mentioned earlier this summer that my dad got inducted into the National Football Hall of Fame. And so now one of my things is it's a very regional organization right now. They don't have a lot of people from outside like Ohio, Pennsylvania, that kind of thing. So I was on my way back from that. I'm thinking, who would be, if I was going to put somebody up from this area for induction into the National Football Hall of Fame, who would it be? And the first name that comes to mind is Vern Friedley, who was the legendary head coach at Amphi High School. He would be the guy that you would have to put up. I think he would have to, and if you disagree, great conversation. 520-848-1290. Who would be the first name from Southern Arizona that you would put up for induction into the National High School Football Hall of Fame? For me, like I said, it would be Vern Friedley for sure.
Yeah, I had a family member who was a substitute, for lack of a better term, a guidance counselor who subbed for the Amphi School District, and that was during the Bates era. And so all I heard about were the Bates brothers, and then you would see them on the Olympics, and you see them returning kicks. So I remember that era of Amphi football quite well. I mean, I wasn't at a lot of those games, but most of the buzz around prep sports coming out of Tucson was from those guys at Amphi at the time.
Vern Friedley took over in 1976 as the head coach at Amphitheater High School and coached there until 2011. I remember my first year in television, which was really the first year I covered high school football here in Southern Arizona, which was 2011. That was Vern Friedley's last season. Last season there. That team went 3-7, and he hung it up after that year. But, I mean, this was a guy that won a lot of football games. Over there on the, I guess should call that the east side of Prince Road. Flowing Wells on the west side of Prince Road.
I know Amphi's like 30, 40 years older. I think Flowing Wells was like 50s, and Amfi was 30s, I think. So as far as their record, I don't know when Flowing Wells started to play football, but that 61 number you said, the year they started playing in the early 60s, makes sense if Flowing Wells didn't come out of the gate the first year they opened the doors and had a football team. That's generally not how that goes.
According to Arizona Football Archives, which is a great site, I go there all the time when I want to get my historical information. So Amfi first fielded 6-man in 1939. Was the first year they fielded a 6-man team. Flowing Wells looks like they played maybe JV. Looks like their first varsity team was in 1959. And I bet you won't remember who their coach was.
Flowing Wells?
Yeah, but it was a very famous Arizona Wildcat. Was their first varsity head coach. If you know this, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290.
Going back to what year?
Well, who was when you
Famous player or famous coach?
Famous player. Famous player.
Huh.
So let me reset that for you. So they started playing varsity because they played, I guess, it's listed as B, so I'm assuming B would be JV. So they played JV from 54 to 58. And then their first varsity season was 59. And this particular player coached the B team in 58 and the first year of varsity in 59. So he was only there 2 years as the head coach. I'll give you a huge hint. Who would have been the most popular and most well-known Arizona Wildcat before 1965?
Pop McHale.
That would be incorrect, but that's a good guess.
Well, you asked who the most famous. That's the first person that comes to mind.
That would be a good guess.
I couldn't. You're asking way before my timeline here, so I had to do some research. But I'd have to go ahead and say that I'm gonna go ahead and abstain from a guess here.
Do you even know a player? Come on, Dragon Ball.
Before that time period, absolutely not.
Well, this player obviously would have been, because I don't know that he was coaching the team when he played. Is still so. He was born in 1934, so he would have been in his mid-20s when he was coaching high school football at Flowing Wells. You're gonna hit yourself because it's easy. It's really easy. If I said so myself, it's an easy answer. We'll come back to that. If you know the answer, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Who was the first varsity coach at Flowing Wells High School? One of the most popular Wildcat football players before 1960. Do you know who that is? All right. We are going to also, major announcement. I've got a major programming announcement coming up. We're going to give you that at 4 o'clock. This is huge programming announcement coming up at 4 o'clock. You know, we've been talking about a lot of changes that are going on. Rich Eisen is going to be leaving the show, or going to be leaving this channel at the end of the year. We've got him till the end of the year. But he has gone back to ESPN, and so ESPN will be having that show after the first of the year. But I've got a major programming announcement coming up for you at 4 o'clock. So join us for that at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Also, I was talking about high school football. The rivalry of one of the new young rivalries here in Southern Arizona is renewed tonight up on the north side. Canyon del Oro, Micah Mountain, the two most recent teams to win the Conference 4A state championship here in the state of Arizona. CDO won it 2 years ago in 2023. Micah Mountain won it last year in 2024. They will meet for just the 5th time in football tonight up on the north side at CDO. So that's probably one of the most exciting games happening tonight here in Southern Arizona. But we can't forget down in Santa Cruz County. That rivalry is renewed tonight. Rio Rico versus Nogales. So there are a ton of opportunities for you to go out and see some high school football. My wife is actually going to a high school football game tonight. One of her colleagues from up in Phoenix, she has a bunch of her Phoenix. Well, quick backstory. My wife works for Banner, but she doesn't work for Banner here locally. She is HR for some of their hospital units up in Phoenix. So a lot of the people she works with are up in the Valley, and some of her people that she's colleagues with have sons that play high school football. And last year, one of her friends had two sons on the Higley team that 2 years ago won the state championship. So they came down last year and played at Marana. Marana beat them last year when they came down here. My wife went to that game, and now another one of her friends has a son who's coming down to play at a game tonight against Rincon University High School. So my wife is actually going to be out of some high school football. So don't ever miss out on a chance to see high school football. It is almost Friday night here in Southern Arizona. DK on the sports tip. Cricket will also have everything you need to know that's happening here in our region this weekend. All the fun stuff. She'll be with us a little bit after 4 o'clock. She'll be with us right after we make our major announcement. Right now, though, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Westbound I-10 near Irvington Palo Verde, collision there in the westbound I-10. Irvington Palo Verde on-ramp, travel there is blocked. A lot of backups on I-10. Both directions of travel on I-10 slowing as you approach Palo Verde, Irvington. Other wrecks, Sabino Canyon and Tanca Verde, Palo Verde north of I-10. Sandario south of Picture Rocks Road, Sandario at Rudisill blocked due to an overturned vehicle. 40% chance of rain into the evening. Tomorrow, 93 with a slight chance of rain. 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
So hot. Hi, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Step into a world where rewards never end. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Every moment brings excitement. Every visit unlocks exclusive perks, free play, dining discounts, and more. From high-stakes action to luxurious experiences, your rewards grow with every play. Join today for endless benefits and unforgettable moments. Club Soul. Play more, earn more, experience more. Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Join David Kelly this Wednesday from 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards for Wild Card Wednesdays. Showtime Cards will have live box breaks happening right in the store. You never know what pulls might pop up. Whether you're into baseball, football, basketball, soccer, MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars, or anything in between, Showtime Cards has something for every collector. Catch all the action this Wednesday, 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards, located on Speedway just east of Craycroft, with Wildcats Radio 1290.
Kick off your week with Wildcats Radio 1290 for Modelo Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Union Public House. Enjoy a refreshing Modelo, spin to win prizes, and more. Sponsored by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans, an official partner of Arizona Athletics.
Summer may be winding down, but the Arizona heat isn't going anywhere. Keep your AC strong through this endless summer with Rightway. When systems are pushed too hard, they fail, causing strange noises, unusual smells, or no cool air at all. Rightway is here with 15% off any AC repair to get you comfortable fast. Or be proactive and book your $65 AC tune-up today and avoid emergency breakdowns. Call 520-640-COOL or visit rightwayac.com.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. With an 86-75 win against the LA Sparks on Wednesday, the Atlanta Dream are now in sole possession of second place in the WNBA standings. Atlanta's won 3 in a row and 5 of its last 6. And with just 3 games left in the regular season, the Dream are surging at the right time. Atlanta made several additions to its roster over the last 2 seasons to put themselves in position to make a deep playoff run. From 2022, number 1 overall pick Ryan Howard leads the way, but veteran guard Jordan Canada's return from a hamstring injury is providing an extra spark this week.
Honestly, what I've learned is just keep using my voice. Just talk to my teammates as much as I can, telling them what I see, how I can bring energy with my voice. So that's just something consistent that I've been trying to do. I'm just happy to be back out there and doing what I can.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like you know to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona and Weber State for the first time in football, week 2 of the college football season. Let's find out a little bit about the other Wildcats. We'll be playing Wildcats 2 weeks in a row. Weber State this week, Kansas State next week. And Carl Archie is the play-by-play man for the Weber State Wildcats. Opened their season last week with a loss on the road at James Madison. Carl, first of all, appreciate you taking some time to join us. What were the top takeaways, I should say, from last week's game against the Dukes?
Jackson Gilkey, the new starting quarterback. I thought he was strong. I thought he stayed in the pocket, didn't move his feet. Was extremely accurate, didn't get a lot of help from his receivers. And I think that was probably the greatest takeaway that this coaching staff had from that game.
Jackson Gilkey, obviously you mentioned 10 of 24. I did throw 3 interceptions. What were kind of maybe some of the issues there?
Two tipped balls. One was a bad pass. In fact, the only mistake I thought he made all night was just a ball that he threw that he should have seen the defensive back there, and he threw it right to him. And it was a poor pass, poor decision. But all through the night, he made good decisions. He was efficient. He was getting the team up to the line, reading the coverages, setting the pass protection. Very, very stable, very, very solid, very, very strong in that sense. And two of his passes, quite frankly, were right in the hands of his receivers. They didn't catch them, went off their hands. They got picked. So those weren't on him.
Mickey Mental, the head coach of this team, a former offensive coordinator before being elevated into that position, obviously does both roles now. What is his offensive philosophy, and where did he kind of build that as he was coming up through the game of football?
He's an Ohio guy. He's from Cleveland, and he coached at a small college in Cleveland, also played at a small college in Cleveland, actually got a cup of coffee with the Cleveland Browns. He was a quarterback, and so he really has a good feel for his quarterbacks and bonds with them and has a good relationship with them. He did with the quarterback who left us, Richie Munoz, who spent 2 seasons with us, and I think Richie would probably be starting for us right now if he hadn't gone into the portal. But, I think Mickey really, Mickey's got an interesting philosophy. I mean, he really would like to pass it a little bit more than run it. And I think that he feels the need to throw it a little bit more this year because he's got a bunch of young running backs. We lost our top running back, who didn't lose a top player in many positions. And, our top running back went to New Mexico. And so we've got some young guys who've got some promise. And so I think he's going to rely a little bit more on the pass game. He likes to throw the outs. He's not a guy who'll throw it deep very often. And to be honest, I don't think we've got the guys who can go and do that. We had a player last year who had some speed, could get some separation. This year, not so much. And so he's got some young receivers. Mickey likes to use boundaries. He likes to take away the double coverages if he can. And you can do that when you're throwing out and you're throwing and using the boundaries. So I think that's what you'll see a lot of. Not a lot of stuff over the middle and not a lot of stuff deep.
Well, as a Cleveland native myself, I'd like to say you're in pretty good hands with a young man who came up playing football in Northeast Ohio. I saw Baldwin Wallace, obviously a very strong Division III program where he cut his teeth on the college scene there for sure. Carl Archie is our guest. He is the play-by-play man for the Weber State Wildcats. It is the Wildcats and the Wildcats week 2 of the college football season. On the defensive side of this thing, Carl, you guys obviously have been missing a key piece there in Siona Hala, who's been dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. What is his status coming into the game?
He looks like he's getting better. I haven't talked to the coaches as to whether he's going to start or not. I always wait till the last minute to find that out. But you know how that goes. But I think he's better. He was missed at James Madison. He was missed. So were 2 other linebackers that were out, that were being held out because of injuries. But hopefully Sione will be back. Maybe they can get 1 or 2 others back. I think that really hurt them against the run last week. Obviously, we got gashed quite a bit. They felt very highly about James Madison. And after seeing James Madison, I could see why the coaching staff was as high on them. They're a very good team, and they've got a good program there. I think their coach, Bob Chesney, is going to be a guy that we're going to see at a much bigger school in the not-too-distant future. He's got everything going for him on and off the field, dealing with the media, that type of thing. So very powerful program back there. The D-line didn't do an awful lot. Our defensive coordinator had to dial up some corner blitzes and things like that, try to get some sort of pass rush. Admittedly, the defense was going up against a quarterback, and we have nothing but the greatest of respect for Fafita. But the quarterback at James Madison is a kid who could really, really run it and really throw it. And he put 70 on North Carolina last year. So we had a tough time with him, but we did get a pick. We did get a fumble. That was a point of emphasis during the offseason. Let's create some more turnovers. We didn't have many turnovers last year. So they were able to accomplish that much.
Carl, you mentioned obviously earlier some of the losses that you guys had, and I'm always interested to kind of find out how programs are dealing in this age of the transfer portal. Obviously, you got the guys that you lost are going up to higher Division I programs. U of A added a bunch of kids that were from FCS schools to their roster this year. Is it kind of the same trickle down for you guys? You lose a kid to a power conference and/or a Group of 5 conference. You guys are maybe looking at Division IIs and those to kind of bring kids up. How's that work from the Weber State standpoint?
Mostly the trickle has gone up, not down. And, I was kind of hopeful when all this was going to start developing that it would be, pretty much wash 50-50, although the talent, the player you're getting is not going to be as good as the player you're setting up. We send a lot of players to BYU. BYU has plucked quite a few good players out of our program. Their starting linebacker, Jack Kelly, who's a captain at BYU now, is a guy who spent time at Weber State. And we had a receiver this year. I thought it was a telling story about the portal and the transfers and all of that. A young man named Reggie Frischnecht, who came out of a small junior college down in south central Utah. And when I saw him in the spring game, I thought, wow, we've really got something. About 6'4", 210, could run, could catch, could get separation. And that was the only time I saw Reggie, because a week later he was down at BYU. So he showed up for a cup of coffee, and that's kind of the way it is. I mean, look at BYU. Their starting quarterback, Bear Bachmeyer. He went through spring ball at Stanford, and now he's starting for BYU, and he's starting against Stanford on this weekend. So the way it is, it's a little bit frustrating. The players that we have brought in from other schools tend to be other FCS kids. But, that's okay. Not a lot of high-profile transfers from the larger schools, and I guess that's just the way it's going to be. I think the smaller schools are going to be the proving grounds and the test grounds for players, and I think players understand that. If they can come here and they can play for Weber State or, even a Montana or Montana State, show out well, there's money to be made in them Tar Hills, and they're going to get an offer from somebody. And so, I look at it all as a one-year proposition now, and I try not to get too close. I try not to fall in love too much. And, they're here for the moment. Let's enjoy that.
Carl Archie is our guest. He is the play-by-play man for the Weber State Wildcats. It's U of A and Weber State for the first time in football. And I love these type of regional games, FCS, versus a power conference school that are kind of in the same area. Obviously, the first time that these two programs have played. Will your fan base travel? You think you'll have good folks down here for the game?
We'll have good folks, but not a lot of them. So, it's Weber being what it is, a small commuter school. Small, I shouldn't say small. We've got about, I think, 30,000 students. But it's mostly a commuter school. I was thinking this yesterday when I was up on campus, and it was very quiet at 3:30 in the afternoon. And then I had to remind myself that a lot of these are older students. They're married. Some of them have families already. Most of them have other jobs. So it's not, the destination school or, the type of school that a lot of kids go to and stay in the dorms and that type of a thing. So it's a little bit different in that sense. So our fans, when we get to the NCAA tournament in basketball, if we're in that, we'll get a good contingent. But I don't expect to see a whole lot of purple in the stands. But those who come will have some family members, I'm sure. We've got a backup center who's from the Tucson area. I believe his name is Will Way, and I'm sure his family will be there. And so we'll get some folks who'll come over from California too.
Absolutely.
We'll try to add to your local economy as much as we can.
We appreciate that, Carl. We appreciate that. And you mentioned Will Way, absolutely, out of Push Ridge Christian Academy. One of our broadcast partners, Glenn Howe, trained Will when he was coming up in high school. So looking forward to see Will back here, and covered him a lot before I transition back to radio on the TV side on Friday night. So looking forward to seeing Will on the field against the Wildcats. You are back in the booth, Carl, for a second stint at Weber State, and unfortunately, tragedy has brought you back into that position with the death last year of a former colleague of mine, Steve Klauke, a longtime voice of the Salt Lake Bees on the baseball side. Had a chance to know Steve quite a bit during my time in the Pacific Coast League, calling games for the Memphis Redbirds. Tell the folks about your friend Steve Klauke, for those that didn't know the man and the broadcaster that he was.
Great broadcaster, and he was a better man than he was a broadcaster. And, that's kind of what we say when people ask us about Damian Lillard, who played at Weber State. The first thing I always tell people is that Damian's a better person and man than he is as a basketball player. He's one of the top 75 basketball players in the history of the game. Steve was an amazing broadcaster. I listened to him. I mean, he and I did some events and games together. I can remember a game that he and I did, a baseball game up in, and that was his main sport. We did a game up in Vancouver, British Columbia once. The booth was so small that I had to sit behind Steve and a little bit above him. And when the ball went into the right field corner, neither one of us could see the ball. And we did games on rooftops, but he was the consummate professional. Great voice, just one of those voices that you love to listen to, no matter what the sport was, but especially for baseball. He was the voice of summer in the Salt Lake City area, did it for 30 years. And tragically, yes, he was taken from us a year ago on June 11th. I had retired on June 7th and had other plans. And Steve, unfortunately, went for a walk one night and was struck by a vehicle and lost his life. And it was a huge tragedy. It still is. I think about him every day. He's with me every day. I think about him before, during, and after broadcasts, and but in a good way. And we try to remember him, and we try to get a pun in there in every broadcast that we possibly can. And that's our Steve Klauke moment, because he was the wacky punster, and he had such a great sense of humor. And so it's been, real mixed emotions for me. Obviously, I love doing what I'm doing. I love working with the Wildcats, but obviously it's a very sad and surreal way for this to all come about. And if I had my druthers, I would take off the headset any moment if he walked into the booth now and hand it to him, and gladly stand back and listen. I wish I had that power.
Absolutely. He was, like you said, a tremendous man, and always enjoyed my conversations with him when we would come in to Salt Lake City to broadcast games with that beautiful mountain view in the backdrop. There was nothing better for sure during those years. Carl, hey, I appreciate you telling that story. I appreciate you bringing us up to speed on Weber State. First time these two sets of Wildcats will play on the gridiron. Have a great call on your broadcast.
We certainly will. And by the way, I'll end this by saying, because you're from Cleveland,
yes,
and I worked in Cleveland, and Mickey Mendel's from Cleveland, so we got a shout out to Go Browns, right?
There you go. Go Browns for sure. Let's beat those
Go
Bengals
Browns
on Sunday.
And we can say go Wildcats, too.
We can do that.
So go Browns, go Wildcats.
There we go. Carl Arke, he is the play-by-play man for Weber State. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Sandario south of Picture Rocks Road, Sandario and Rudisill, with a closure there due to an overturned vehicle. Westbound I-10 near Irvington Palo Verde crash that's clearing. Backups on the westbound side of I-10. Some slowing approaching and passing Alvernon Way. Palo Verde north of I-10, also Sabino Canyon and Tanca Verde in the clearing stages. There is a 40% chance of rain into the evening. Tomorrow, 93 is the high with a slight chance of rain, and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 1290 Wildcat. That's code 1290 Wildcat to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 and over. Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. The Football Press Conference, sponsored by Coors Light.
Wildcat fans, the 2025-26 Arizona athletics season is in full swing, and tickets are on sale now. Come be a part of the best show in Tucson as your Arizona Wildcats tackle year 2 in the Big 12 and show the nation why this is Wildcat country. So bring a friend, wear the colors, and get your tickets today by calling the McHale Center ticket office at 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets. Bear down.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text LEARN to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text LEARN to 323232 right now. Text LEARN to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's LEARN to 323232. Text LEARN to 323232 now.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, we all share the same roads and the same extreme driving conditions like extreme Arizona heat, extremely large potholes, some extremely flooded roads, and there's always extremely distracted drivers, pedestrians, and that guy who drives a scooter backwards into oncoming traffic. You're driving in the world's largest video game, stopping, starting, turning, heating up, and cooling down. And that's just your afternoon commute. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 award-winning locations have been helping drivers just like you get home safely for over 60 years. With top-quality tire brands, no hidden extras, and one low price. Jack Furrier has everything you need to stay in the game, like wheel alignments, batteries, brakes, air conditioning, service at prices that won't break the bank. Ask a neighbor or friend about Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's friendly service, or stop by, make an appointment online, or call ahead to the local's choice. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. The focus will be on Caitlin Clark, shutting it down for the rest of the season, but don't miss the Golden State Valkyries becoming the first expansion team in WNBA history to make the playoffs in year one. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at depend.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
NFL game number 1 of the 2025 season is in the books.
8-yard line to Dallas. Philly second down and goal. Shotgun for Hurts. 3 wide to the left. Shotgun snap. Drops back 5. Left tackle blocks. He looks right. Now he looks left. Now he's being chased. Runs to the 10 on the numbers. Angles to the far side. The 5 to the pylon. The dive. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Hurts on the fly. 8-yard touchdown run by the Eagle quarterback. And Philadelphia is 1 extra point away from tying this game on a 8-yard touchdown run. The second touchdown run tonight for Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, 62 yards on 14 carries. He had a couple of rushing touchdowns in this game, which was good. He was running the ball, not throwing it, because we had Jalen Hurts under 26.5 passing attempts last night, and he only threw it 23 times. So we came back a winner on that one. But we did lose on Dak Prescott throwing for 246.5 yards or more because CeeDee Lamb can't catch the damn ball.
4th and 3. He looks at a 4-man front. They bring the blitz. They're going to bring 5. Prescott winds up arching spiral far sideline. Diving attempt. Lamb incomplete off his outstretched gloves. On the far side of the field, it's incomplete at the Philadelphia 22 down the far sideline. And on downs, the Eagles will get it. And they've got the lead with 1:54 to go. 24-20, they get the ball back on down.
I saw one person put out there that was the worst 7-reception, 110-yard performance of all time.
That's just it. It was 7 catches, 110 yards. Meanwhile, no other receiver got above 30 yards. George Pickens, 3 catches for 30 yards. The guy was averaging 10 yards a catch. It wasn't like he wasn't involved in the game. It took him a while to get those targets. And then everybody else, 23 yards, 18 yards, 10 yards. And even then, it's not a situation where the running game was keeping Dallas in this game. Outside of those 2 rushing touchdowns by Javonte Williams, your best rusher was for 54 yards in Javonte Williams. And then Miles Sanders had 4 carries for 53 yards before the fumble eventually took him out of the game.
Dak Prescott finished 21 of 34 in the game. He had 188 yards, so threw for under 200 yards in the ball game. First game in the book, little bit of a delay. It seems like these early season games, there's always a delay. I think there was a delay last year in the international game. Hopefully we won't have one tonight down in Sao Paulo. I forget where they were last year, but it was like raining or storming or something like that.
There has been good news today on the front for tomorrow's college football game. Did you hear about that?
Which
good
game?
And bad news.
Like
for those
here?
of us who want rain, it's bad news. But the good news is that this hurricane in the Gulf of California has turned left.
Okay. Yep.
So not a huge chance that we're going to get weather delays or rain delays tomorrow.
No. I was starting to think about that after I heard that we might get pounded. I'm thinking, oh boy, this could be ugly on Saturday.
It slowed and turned. You know, once it hit land, it's a little less predictable. But yeah, it slowed and turned more to the left. So they're saying currently that we're probably not going to get a ton tomorrow.
No. All right, let's give you your BetMGM Network top play for not today, but for this first NFL Sunday.
Detroit, a 2.5-point dog. I'm Joe Ostrowski here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Plenty of concern about the 2025 Lions after losing both coordinators and Frank Ragnow. But Detroit has won 6 of 7 against Green Bay, and the combo of Campbell and Goff have been phenomenal early in the season. A Parsons overreaction. Give me the Lions to cover. I'm Joe Ostrowski from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
So the Lions an underdog in this game against the Green Bay Packers coming up this week on the road at Lambeau Field. Lions +2. It's at -110 right now at BetMGM. So your $12.90 bet will get you back $11.73. Hop on over and make that play at Soul Sports at the Casino del Sol. And, of course, we've got a game tonight, as I mentioned, down in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It'll be the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending AFC champions, in an AFC West battle against the LA Chargers. How about this play for tonight as well, guys? Travis Kelce, newly engaged Travis Kelce, over 5.5 receptions tonight.
I think that you almost you almost have to take that because of, again, Kelce likes to go play against the Chargers. The Chargers let him seemingly do whatever it is that he wants to do in these games typically. So yeah, no, I like this pick. I like this pickup.
Travis Kelce over 5.5 receptions.
Let's see. I'm looking at last year because I know that he wasn't targeted last year like he had been in previous years.
Well,
so
he's getting older.
Well, no, of course. And it's separation. I mean, it's all about separation. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be right on the cusp. His last year's games, obviously not the same, and clearly he's engaged. So he's got the engagement superpower behind him as well. 6, 7, 5, 4, 5, 8 are his last 6 games as far as receptions go. So, I mean, I think, we talk a lot about Noah and T-Mac, but as far as that system goes and when they're really in trouble and they got to get a short completion over the middle, it's always Kelce. So 5 doesn't sound like a ton.
How about this? I was, we did my fantasy draft earlier this week on the show. I heard about there's new fantasy leagues now. How about this? I heard this new one where there's so you have I think you have 18 teams or something of that nature. Or how many weeks are there? There's 18 weeks. Is there 17 games? There's 18 teams, and the team. So you're not playing against anybody. You're just playing for your points, and the team with the lowest points for that week is eliminated.
Yeah,
and then all their players go back into a free agent pool, and the other teams can draft those guys for their team.
It's just the musical chairs model, where at every round somebody gets kicked off, and you just keep going, right?
Musical chairs model. It almost sounds like it's demotion in like European soccer leagues where you get kicked down a division or
Except
something.
for you get a chance to come back in those relegation is what that's called.
You don't lose your players. Your players can make the decision like, hey, I'll transfer, and that'll be what I'll do. But you don't see those contracts voided.
Follow-up, DK. If you are the worst scoring fantasy team in a 16, 18-team league, what good are your players to anybody else in the league, right? Like, clearly you didn't draft very well
There's
anyway.
probably one or two guys I would think that somebody's going to want, but you probably weren't if you're the lowest scoring team. But week 1 you might not come out well. And
Maybe
then
somebody
you
had a
might
bad
actually
game.
have
Sure.
a good team. You never know. So I'm in that league with John Bailina and his guys. So basically how that works is you have to rank the games. So starting from 16 to 1, like which game you feel most comfortable with. You rate that as the 16 and down on so forth from that. I'm trying to pull it up so I can tell you what I picked for my top 5.
John are matched up against each other on that game week. What's the bet?
I don't know that this. Yeah, I don't know that this is like a head-to-head either.
Oh no,
I think it's just you make your picks, and then you, depending on your score for the week, I think it just goes for the whole entire season.
Sure.
And whoever has the most amount of points at the end of the season is the winner. So it's not a head-to-head type of thing at all. All right, we have got a major programming announcement coming up momentarily. Stay with us. DK on the Sports Tip, Cricket's coming with you in this next part of the show as well. Right now, Dragon Ball's got everything that's happening in Southern Arizona sports as well as sports around the world.
Well, the Arizona campus is going to be having a lot going on besides just the Weber State and Arizona Wildcats football battle. Volleyball continues their stay up in Boise, Idaho. Saturday, they'll be taking on UC San Diego tomorrow. But currently, the Wildcats are in the lead in the third set, but they are down 2-0 as they take on the host, Boise State Broncos. And the men's golf will be heading up to Washington, take part of the Sahali Players Championship over the weekend. And Sunday, you'll have the soccer team aiming to build on their win over the University of Denver this past Thursday as the Cats take on Pepperdine again this weekend. Best of luck to all those Arizona Wildcats playing games over the weekend. Diamondbacks will be once again without Pavin Smith. The team has officially transferred to the 60-day injured list, effectively ending his season for Arizona with a strained left quad today. They've also announced that with the move, the pitching staff will be adding Elvin Rodriguez off the waivers from the Baltimore Orioles, but will option him to Reno for the moment. Diamondbacks get started on their next series here today against the Red Sox, with Eduardo Rodriguez taking on his former club. The NFL season got underway with a very initial fast-paced start, near hour-long weather delay, and the tightness of the finish. But the pace was set from the beginning as Jalen Carter, the Eagles' second-team All-Pro defensive tackle, was revealed to have spat on quarterback Dak Prescott for the Cowboys, and he was ejected before the first snap of the game. And while the initial look and reactions around the NFL fan base vilified Jalen Carter, further video revealed later in the broadcast, and I would say it gets far more complicated.
I'm saying that there had to have been a second spitter.
Prescott in the huddle walks out between his offensive linemen, and Dak spits down towards the ground, but in the direction of the Eagles with Carter, who had walked over there, and that begins the interaction of the two.
Now the NFL will be looking into Jalen Carter and potentially facing possible suspension or a hefty fine, but this does open the door also for Dak to be potentially receiving some disciplinary action for his part in the exchange as well. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Did you miss the big game?
They need a 3 to get to overtime.
You know we got you covered.
Midcourt, shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Trying to keep it close, and you never give up. I guess that's life in the Big 12.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported 12th Avenue and Ajo Way, Cortero west of I-10, Cortero and Arizona Pavilions Drive. Sandario south of Picture Rocks Road, Sandario and Rudis Hill, an earlier overturned vehicle. Tanca Verde and Sabino Canyon, also collision westbound I-10 at the Palo Verde Irvington on-ramp that is clearing, slowing on westbound I-10 approaching and passing Alvernon Way. There is about a 40% chance of rain a little later this evening. Tomorrow, 93 with a slight chance of showers and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
This is Ron. I'm the president of Alaskan AC. Our main job is keeping you comfortable. And we hope that puts a smile on your face. But we recently met someone we just made smile just by being on the radio.
I giggle every time I hear you guys come on. My daughter laughs at me because I can hear the jingle start and I immediately turn the volume up.
That's our new friend, Charisse. Not a customer, just somebody who needed a laugh, and we just happened by.
My husband passed away 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago. I fell into a very dark depression. You guys make me so happy, so I can't say thank you enough. I really, truly can't.
That's awesome. No matter how we made you happy, we just want to say thanks. You're the reason we've been keeping Arizona chill since 1972.
The Grizz cracks me up, and I've actually repeated it to people because some of them don't know who you guys are. Mm-hmm. So I have to say, oh, you have to listen to them. They're so funny.
Reach out anytime at alaskanac.com.
The Wildcats go for victory number 2 this Saturday when they host the Weber State Wildcats at Arizona Stadium. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m., and you can be there for just $22. Tickets are on sale now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 520-621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Arizona versus Weber State, Saturday, 7 p.m. at the stadium. Bear down.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus?
Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 321-4100.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Hey you, we've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here, you're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low pricing is your priority.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Kick off your week with Wildcats Radio 1290 for Modelo Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Union Public House. Enjoy a refreshing Modelo, spin to win prizes, and more. Sponsored by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans, an official partner of Arizona Athletics.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, short show today. We've got you till 4:30, and then it's NFL football, the second game of the season from Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, coming up here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, I promised we have a major programming announcement that we are going to lay on you right now. Okay, so if you're watching the show today on one of our video channels, YouTube and or Twitch, you're going to get a video with this. For those of you on the radio, you'll just hear sound, and then we will give you the announcement after the conclusion of the video. Major programming announcement. Wildcats Radio 1290 coming up in 3, 2, 1. Yes, indeed. Wildcats Radio 1290 is your new official Southern Arizona home of the Carolina Panthers. Panthers football will be right here. All right, yeah, there we go. Let's get some applause there. All right, don't sound too excited about it. Carolina Panthers football will be right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We are your official home of T-Mac and Pay the Ransom, Lathan Ransom, two Tucson bred football players, Tetro McMillan with the Arizona Wildcats, Lathan Ransom out of South Point Catholic High School. We will have every single Carolina Panthers football game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290, beginning this Sunday with the season opener for the Panthers, 9 a.m. Our coverage will begin at 9 a.m. with the Carolina Panthers pregame show, and then kickoff against the Jacksonville Jaguars will be at 10 a.m. The Panthers on the road against the Jaguars and Travis Hunter to open up the season. Excited about this. Tetro McMillan, first-round pick for the University of Arizona. Lathan Ransom, fourth-round pick out of Ohio State and South Point Catholic, both starting their rookie seasons. We'll have a player on each side of the ball starting this Sunday right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
You know, in the 80s, I was a Broncos fan.
Mm-hmm.
And in the late 90s, I was a Patriots fan. I'm using the word fan in quotations because I watched the Broncos because of Vance Johnson. I watched the Patriots because of Gronkowski, more specifically Teddy Bruschi. I watched those Ravens teams when Chris McAllister was going crazy and making all-pros. So watching highly skilled Arizona Wildcats, it pains me to say this, but there haven't been a ton of breakout superstars in the NFL who came through U of A campus. But those that do, guys, I'm all about that. I mean, I just love it when those guys shine. And T-Mac, I mean, for all intents and purposes, is measurables-wise the best wide receiver to ever play here. Very bright future. So really looking forward to seeing what he does with the Panthers.
And so often it's usually defensive players that come out of the U of A that make it big in the NFL. We talked about Teddy Bruschi. We mentioned a guy that probably gets lost a lot in the shuffle there, but it was at the tail end of the that Desert Swarm era, and Lance Briggs, Bam Bam Briggs when he went to the Bears, and then also Antonio Pierce again had a little bit of history with that school up north, but played his best years at the U of A, went on to be a champion with the Giants. Seeing an offensive guy be this highly touted getting ready to go into the NFL season is something really, really nice to see. And we're wishing the best for not just Tetro McMillan, but we're also wishing the best for Lathan Ransom. No, I choked on my spit there. But wishing the best to Tetro McMillan.
Spit on the ground and
to somebody else. Exactly.
Spit on the lineman's shoes. Don't spit towards somebody else.
I mean, I can't explain to you how big my smile was watching Nick Foles start in a Super Bowl, right? Like, it's just, we don't get those kind of opportunities as Southern Arizona people who have followed U of A our whole lives to watch the greatest stage. I mean, there's something like 14 consecutive NBA finals have included an Arizona Wildcat in them. That's ho-hum, been there, done that. But in the NFL, guys, I mean, seeing a guy who can be ranked among the top 20, 30 fantasy players in the league, that just doesn't happen. So, yeah, again, congrats to the Panthers for drafting T-Mac, and going to follow them all season, see what happens.
Yeah, so full disclosure, I've been here now. This is going on my third year here at Wildcats Radio 1290. I've been efforting a singular relationship with the National Football League team. We had, and just so people don't get upset or anything, we attempted 2 different summers to try to create a relationship with the Atlanta Falcons, which is obviously where we have one of the, if not the best high school football players to ever come out of Southern Arizona, in Bijan Robinson. Unfortunately, we could not make that particular relationship happen. I wasn't sure if we'd be able to make anything happen with the Carolina Panthers, but when they took 2 guys from this team, it just seemed like a natural, at least, ask. We asked. They were delighted to welcome us onto their network, and so we will be your official home for Carolina Panthers football here in Southern
And the
Arizona.
other side of that is there's a very good reason why we don't carry every Cardinals game, right? I'm going to remind listeners why that is.
Yeah, well, they're on another station.
Right. So
Exactly.
we can't carry.
Exactly.
Can't be the
Yeah.
official Cardinals station.
So next week, listen to the Panthers-Cardinals game on 1290 and not on that other station in town. You can go back to them when they're playing somebody other than the Carolina Panthers. So stoked because I think we're my wife and I are probably going to go to the game next Sunday up in Phoenix at State Farm Stadium, which will be the home opener. It'll be our second year going to the home opener for the Cardinals, and now means a little bit more because you got T-Mac and Lathan Ransom coming back home as well, and we'll have that game for you right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. So again, coverage will begin at 9 a.m. with the pregame show, 1 hour pregame show, game day broadcast here, and then I believe they go for about an hour post-game show with all the locker room interviews and the coaches' interviews. Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. In fact, we may try to get you a little bit of Dave Canales before we get out of the show, his conversation with the media this week before the Panthers take on the team from Jacksonville, the Jaguars. So we'll see. I'll have to see where did I pick that game in my. So I found my survivor pool or whatever you want to call it. This bet pool, confidence pool is what they call this. I'm surprised. There were like a bunch of people that picked that game last night as their 16, 15 choice. I was thinking I was pretty good picking it 12th, but I'm like in 61st place. There's a lot of people in this league. A lot of people. The game tonight I picked as my 10th highest rated game. So I've got I had Philly winning at 12. I've got the Chiefs winning at 10 tonight in this pool that I'm in with John Bailina and his people. My top game that I had that I felt the most confidence with at 16 was the Vikings over the Bears. And then my next two after that were the Cardinals over the Saints and the Broncos over the Titans. So those were my top three.
I didn't realize, guys, that Brazil were so crazy about football, American football.
Yeah, well, are they, or are we just there?
Well, apparently it's the third largest international market.
Okay.
That's what I've read recently. This is the second time they've had games in Brazil after last year's game. So, but I was surprised. I mean, I know they're obviously soccer, football crazed, but I was surprised, Dragon Ball, that Brazil is so all about the NFL life because apparently 32 million or so people tune in on Sundays to watch NFL down there.
Wow. No, it's a very large country, Brazil. I mean, it's going to have a lot of
True.
that, a lot of
Very
that
true.
traffic that goes in and out. And Brazil loves sports. I mean, again, football there is a religion. It's something that every single person in Brazil has their team.
There's more single-named individuals who played soccer in Brazil than any other sport in any other country in the world.
Yes. And every time you pick a team, it becomes a part of your identity. I imagine it's something similar to those fans who are in Brazil, whether it be Sao Paulo or any of these other cities in the country.
Can you name another city in Brazil?
I
don't think I could.
I know I should because my dad used to live in Brazil for a period of time. He used to live just a little out of Sao Paulo.
Rio, obviously, is
Rio de Janeiro.
the one everybody knows.
Brasilia and I think there's Fortaleza.
Brasilia is 3 times larger than Tucson.
Yes, it's a very big. There's a lot of population in these cities in Brazil.
Yes,
but when you pick a team, it becomes your identity, and people know you more so for the team you support than for any other part of your life. Whether it be if you run the bake sale at your local school, no, they know that you're a representative of that
I grew up
club.
the same way in Tucson, though. It's like I'm rolling around and I'm like, "Oh, you're a Steeler? Pfft,
Yeah.
no. We can never be friends if you're wearing that jersey."
All right, we are joined by the fourth member of our program. It is Cricket. Cricket, did you hear the big announcement?
What?
We are the official home of Carolina Panthers football.
So that's what I was just seeing there. Okay, got it.
There you go. You know anything about the Carolina Panthers?
Is their color teal?
It is.
I know.
It is
I know
teal.
a little
He does
bit.
know something.
Very good.
about the Carolina
I'm
Panthers.
impressed.
I know the outfits.
I even had to make it teal. I had to make so we have like all these on our clock builder where we put all of our stuff. I even made their color teal on the clock builder.
Good
Yep,
job.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
Like arts and crafts.
Have you ever been to Charlotte?
No.
No,
I've not.
I've only been there once.
Who's
I
the
went there
most
for a wedding.
famous Carolina Panther?
The most famous?
Peppers?
I think it'd have to be
Julius
Steve Smith.
Peppers? Oh, Steve Smith, yeah.
Steve Smith, I feel,
Smith.
has to be that.
Towards the end, though, right?
He was there for their Super Bowl run with Delhomme and them. So
I think of Julius Peppers when I think of them.
Yeah.
That's a good, I mean, a guy on offense, guy on defense, absolutely.
I know that one guy that's very beloved there is Sam Mills.
I thought you were going to say Jake Delhomme again.
No,
just like
Jake
you did
Delhomme.
yesterday.
I think of wasn't Sam Mills on that great Saints linebacking crew?
Yep.
Yeah. I think of the Saints when I think
the
of
old Dome Patrol.
All of them were like 6
and
feet
of course,
tall, too.
Cam.
Undersized.
Cam Newton would have to be another one.
Yeah, he would be high on the list as well. All right, Cricket, what time is it? It is the weekend. Woo-wee. And we've got all kinds of great stuff happening this weekend here in Southern Arizona. Like what?
Well, we've got Sonoran Restaurant Week through the 14th. They say it's a week,
love food,
but it's actually like 10 days. Okay. So you can support local restaurants at a discount rate. Menus and prices at SonoranRestaurantWeek.com. Tour Sabino Canyon tomorrow night in the Night Crawler. Meet before 7:30 at the Sabino Canyon rec area. Spooky season's coming. I know DK likes this stuff. Haunted hotel tours at Hotel Congress Sundays and Wednesdays, and ghost tours at Old Tucson on Wednesday nights. And also Thursday is September 11th. We'd like to invite you to the 9/11 Tower Challenge at the TCC. Proceeds benefit local first responder and military charities. All the details about that event, wildcatsradio1290.com.
All right, and there's a really, really cool documentary that's going to be over at the Loft Cinema that you should go check out. It's called the American South. What's it called?
American Southwest.
American Southwest. Yeah, American Southwest. It's the story of the Colorado River. It was directed by a young man named Ryan Olinger, who's a graduate of the University of Arizona. And so go check that out over at the Loft Cinema. I mean, it is like if you like what was called Meerkat Mansion and shows like that where cameras follow
the
animals in their terrain, then you're gonna love this movie.
I had a chance to talk to him earlier this week because we're gonna have him as a guest on our Tucson Review Sunday program.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And Cricket, him talking about seeing his movie on the Loft marquee because he grew up and he was a student at the U of A. So seeing a movie that he produced, that he was the director of cinematography up on that loft, just hearing the joy in his voice was the best part about that.
I'm excited for him. I actually can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
love
me
the
too.
wildlife.
So everybody get out there and check that out this weekend, especially if it's a lazy Sunday. Get out there and support one of our own who's doing tremendous things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are you going to be doing this weekend?
Tomorrow I'm going to build.
We're giving you half your shift off today.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going to be practicing conditioning. We're building bikes tomorrow for pediatric cancer patients at Tucson Subaru.
I look forward to hearing about that on Monday.
Yeah, I don't know how to build anything. We'll see.
There you
it's
go.
for a good cause. What are you guys up to?
Work.
Yeah.
It's a game tomorrow. It's a game day. Yeah,
I don't know
and then I'm
why
going to
I
go
asked.
watch the Browns on Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to listen to the Panthers
Yes.
on our station.
Yes.
Wildcats Radio 1290, your official home of Carolina Panthers football.
Go Teal.
And cricket, getting you home with traffic.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some backups, Irvington and I-19, westbound Irvington approaching I-19, slowing there, and also the southbound I-19 frontage road approaching Irvington for more slowing. Collisions, 12th Avenue and Ajo Way, Kolb Road and Speedway, also Prince and Flowing Wells. Earlier overturned vehicles, Sandario, south of Picture Rocks Road, Sandario and Rudisill. So there is a 40% chance of rain a little later today into the evening. For tomorrow, 93 with a slight chance of rain and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Football season is here.
Oh, man.
Believe has the podcast to enhance your football experience. From the pros
One of the most interesting quarterback rooms
to college
Michigan is set at 8.5 wins.
to fantasy.
If you feel that way, why didn't you trade him?
Become a better fan and listen to the football podcast from Believe.
Just search Believe. That's BLEAV podcast.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Market volatility is slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. With Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know, you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even
Really
in
good.
turbulent
Just get
times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call Trajan today at 321-4100. That's 321-4100.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Hey, you, present self. Huh? Who said that? It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future. Future me? Wow. Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn? Why? We could have saved a fortune. What are you talking about? At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years? 40%? Wow, that's a lot. And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at tobaccobarntucson.com. A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self? By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you. I already did. Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Up to a 30% upfront bonus and 12% per year guaranteed growth for retirement. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and these are the highest guarantees with annuities I have seen in my life. When interest rates are this high, there are silver linings, and annuity guarantees are one of them. Up to a 30% bonus upfront for retirement income. On $100,000, that's up to $42,000 guaranteed in the first year. And it's because of the economy and its high interest rates. Don't let anyone, especially another financial advisor, tell you it's not true. Up to 30% upfront just for opening an account and up to 12% per year guaranteed income growth. Don't miss out. This won't last forever. If you have an old 401k, get up to 30% upfront and 12% guaranteed growth for income today. Call 321-4100. That's 321-4100.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
So hot. I can help you.
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
I'm Rhett Lewis with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The 2025 season kicked off in Philadelphia. The defending champion Eagles beat the Cowboys 24-20. The game started with Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter being ejected before playing a single snap for unsportsmanlike conduct after spitting on Dak Prescott during an injury timeout after the opening kickoff. Then with 4:44 left in the third quarter and the Eagles up 24-20, the game was suspended for about an hour for a weather delay. After the delay, the Eagles defense held off the Cowboys to move to 1-0. Jalen Hurts throwing for 152 yards and ran for 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley added 60 rushing yards in the score. For Dallas, Dak Prescott threw for 188 yards but did not find the end zone. Javonte Williams ran for 2 touchdowns, and George Pickens had 30 yards on 3 catches in his Cowboys debut. Another news, wide receiver Amari Cooper, who joined the Raiders just over a week ago, informed the team he plans to retire. He had 64 touchdowns in 10 seasons. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Final short segment of our show. We got you to the bottom of the hour, 4:30. NFL football, Westwood One will have the game tonight between the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. All right, I want to get to some more of these NFL futures so we can put these in real quick. We were saving this one for you, Dragon Ball, from earlier this week. Steelers make the playoffs.
Yeah. They'll make it. They'll be out in the first round, but they'll make it.
Okay. All right. I was surprised. I wasn't sure if you were going to go along with that one there.
They'll probably be third, or if they're really good or lucky, they'll be second in the division. But again, the chances of this team making a deep playoff run, things got to line up perfectly. And I know that's the case for every team in the league, but sometimes they have to line up almost too perfectly for certain squads over others.
Never ask a rapid fire question to somebody who's passionate to answer.
Yes.
All right, rapid fire here. Travis Hunter, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Offensive? I don't think so. I think he's going to play too many downs on D.
He's currently playing a second, like a nickelback or a backup corner role, so he may end up being Offensive Rookie of the Year. I actually think, though, considering the wide receiver issue, I have a better bet on Ashton Genty being your Offensive Rookie of the Year than I would Travis Hunter.
Okay, we are carrying if you missed it, we are going to be the official Southern Arizona home of Carolina Panthers football. Bryce Young over 3,150 yards passing.
3,150 yards.
Yeah.
So we're saying like he has to be throwing potentially 3,200 yards this season.
Correct.
I'm actually going to say no.
No on that.
No, I'm going to say he's going to be just skimming the line of 3,000. I think this season.
Bryce Young over 17.5 touchdowns.
17.5 touchdowns, I could see.
Okay,
17.5 touchdowns, I could see.
We'll take that one. All right, Caleb Williams over 23.5 touchdowns.
23.5 touchdowns. He was close to 20 last season.
Yeah, we did that one yesterday.
Yeah, I'd say that you would take that. Yeah.
Okay.
He had exactly 20.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the Panthers. T-Mac over 4.5 receiving touchdowns.
Over 4.5.
Yeah.
I'll take an actual hardline number. Give me 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 or 7.
7 touchdowns for him. Yeah.
All right, we'll get we'll do the rest of those at another time. All right, I want you to hear real quick two people. We'll play a little bit of Kyler Murray talking about his first ever game 1, and his first game in professional football. Let's hear Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean, year 7 for me. So I think when younger. The anxiety and the anticipation for how's it going to be, what's it going to look like, how I'm going to do this, how are we going to score, all those things that you think about and come into question as the week goes on and the game gets closer. But I feel like I'm in a place of where now it's just be where your feet are. Today's Wednesday. That's all I can control is Wednesday. I'm not really worried about Sunday. I know JG just. He's told that to the guys, but that's genuinely where I was initially because you get so worked up, trying to anticipate how well you're going to play, what coverages you're going to see, who's going to do what, and all these things. It's like you can't even worry about all that stuff. You just focus be where your feet are and focus on today, and let Sunday come when Sunday comes.
All right, that was the quarterback of your Carolina Panthers. That was Kyler Murray. Panthers will open up their season in New Orleans. We are the official home of the Carolina Panthers. Let's hear from Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
Through our week, the process, and tomorrow again with our review and all that, but just three great days on the field, great practice and preparation by this group, and excited really to just get out there and play a game, which they all are. I can tell they're just kind of chomping at the bit to get back to football here. So, but again, it's about our process. It's about just taking these days, each one of them. Every rep counts. Every rep is so important. We create us on that practice field, and the guys heard that message loud and clear and, gave great effort this week.
Still a developing team. I think the Carolina Panthers, guys, real quick, do the Panthers make the playoffs? I don't think that they do.
No, not a chance. The NFC South has not produced a wild card team in probably about 6 or 7 years to my memory. I'm probably misremembering somebody. This is a division winner or bust squad of 4 teams group. You can't win. If you can't win the division, you're not getting the playoffs in the NFC South.
There you go. All right. We'd like to thank Carl Arkey for joining us on the show today. Don't forget, we're back with you tomorrow. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day will be live from the U of A Mall at 2:30. So we've got you from 2:30 to 5:30. Myself, Glenn Howe, as well as Kelvin Efon. And then it'll be the network pregame show, Arizona Sports Enterprises, Brody Dryden, and Kyle Quinn from 5:30 to 7. Kickoff, Arizona Wildcats, Weber State Wildcats. Brian Jeffries, Lamont Lovett, Mackenzie Hamilton will have that call. And once again, Sunday morning, Carolina Panthers football right here, beginning at 9 o'clock with the pregame show. Carolina and Jacksonville, your new home for Carolina Panthers football. Wildcats Radio 1290. For Cricket, for J-Dub, for Dragon Ball, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Coming up, Kansas City and L.A.
The following is a special presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, anywhere, it's on Westwood One.
An international game for the Chargers season opener. It's in Brazil on Friday against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Tonight at Corinthians Arena, it's football Samba style.
Motion McConkey in the slot left. Herbert fades back, steps up, shovel pass, flip forward, goes to Haskins. He's got the first 25-20, makes the man miss 15, 10-5, touchdown Chargers! Mahomes back to pass, looking, moving to his left, steps up in the pocket, escapes an ankle tackle, runs across the 10, inside the 5, all the way to the end zone. Touchdown Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes with a 15-yard touchdown run, and the Chiefs have taken the early lead.
It's time for the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil. Here's your host, Scott Graham.
We welcome you to the 2025 NFL Sao Paulo game as the Kansas City Chiefs meet the Los Angeles Chargers. Tonight's broadcast of the National Football League on Westwood One is sponsored by Barbasol Shaving Cream, by BetMGM, by Grainger, by Mint Mobile, by Indeed.com, by Progressive Insurance, and by the official NFL app. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Graham. We welcome you to Friday Night Football here on Westwood One. And if you weren't with us last night for the opener with the Eagles beating the Dallas Cowboys, we welcome you to the 2020